always felt my whole character hinged on the line. I tried to do the right thing, but I ended up just your sister.
So, Bill, obviously you were going to be in this movie no matter what, because your wife wrote it and directed it. But Scott, I'm curious to know, did anyone in your life kind of balk at how raunchy it was?
No, I think everybody was gung-ho and all for it. I mean, I've said it all day long. It's the Maggie's script and her way of kind of, in a 5-word sentence, developing your character for you. Rusty Waters, Grunge Rock Lifeguard, I knew immediately that I wanted to do it, and I loved the concept of it. And people call it like brave and fearless. I just think it's, it's from a female perspective. Why do we have to like call it brave and fearless? Why is it a thing? I thought it was different and unique and great. And
that never even entered it into my mind until we started doing publicity.
Right.
Really, that people were like, "Oh, it's a female," and I was like, "Oh,
it's just a cool story."
Yeah. I guess some people are surprised that girls actually talk that way.
I don't understand why people are surprised by that.
It's 2000. It blows my mind that people,
We're in a post-Sex and the City world.
Crazy,
how are we all still gun shy about this? It's stupid.
Yeah, I know. There's certain people that I don't know. I don't think my daughter doing that. So maybe it's
that's what happens when 65-year-old men make.
But guess what? She is giving a blowjob right now.
Exactly.
No, but
this instant,
right over there. Where everyone's looking over there. No, but. Yeah, that is funny you say she could say one line and it'll get, because I always felt my whole character hinged on the line. I tried to do the right thing, but I ended up just your sister.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite in the movie. And also just the name Rusty Waters. It's like you know what that guy is all about.
Yeah,
totally. So it's cool, and it's boiled down and you know exactly what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And nobody gives me a shot to like do stuff like this. So for me, I was in on Jump, and I was raised in a household where we watched whatever movies we wanted to, and then our parents just made sure that they talked to us afterwards.
Yeah.
So we understood that this isn't all, don't go out and do these things immediately without thinking about it. Like, let's have a discussion, like a very open, like kind of household. Like my parents' office was always open, basically. So, it was cool.
Nice.
So.
Well, and I love the costumes and the props in this movie because it's just so 90s. So what was maybe the worst thing that you guys ever wore in the 90s?
I never wore parachute pants, but we both agree that parachute pants was the dumbest thing to come out of the 90s.
I did. I loved parachute pants so much, but we lived in like this dingy, rundown like apartment complex, and parachute pants back then were like crazy expensive. Like
you actually use them for you would need them.
Oh, my grandma made me some pairs.
Oh my
She went to the fabric store. She made some, and I thought they were so cool. And it was cool that she made them for me, but I actually wore them to school. I wouldn't say that was the worst thing ever, but that was the parachute pants that I had.
That sounds pretty bad, actually.
Come on. I love you, Grandma. Thank you so much.
Tell me about doing improv in this movie, because I feel like a lot of you guys came from that background, so how did that play out?
It wasn't a whole lot of improvisation on the movie. I mean, the script was really good. There wasn't, in my scenes, there wasn't any real improv with the exception of the scene with Rachel Bilson where I stand up. But that was with Rachel, me, and Clark and Maggie while we were rehearsing it, came up with that idea, like while we were rehearsing it, like, oh, it'd be funny if you stood up and stuff. So, but there wasn't any like we do on the Judd movies or something where you constantly, there was not a lot of that. They didn't have time for that.
Yeah.
There wasn't time or money. There was nothing time or money for that, to be honest. You realize how much of that riffing, a lot of it is like, oh, you have to have a lot of time and money to do that. And it was like, we gotta go.
Now tell me a little bit about then being directed by your wife in a sex scene.
It was funny. I mean, she was very cool. I mean, it was very funny. It was very, like director and actor, like, okay, so she's gonna be up here, and Rachel, why don't you just kind of straddle him like this, and then and at one point she did, we were shooting it, kind of peek her head in her sweet way, was like, I need you guys to kind of like harder, like it needs to, it's not really, because it's just not reading on camera right now, it's just kind of like this, it needs to be like harder, and then she would walk away, and one of the crew guys was like, your wife's pretty cool that she's letting you have Rachel Bilson on top of you.